Umhlaba wonke jikelele namhlanje ubungaza ilanga esilibiza phecelezi i-International Nurses Day. Kanti siyazi ukuthi uma usezibhedlela emtholampilo onesi abahlengikazi bayinsika the backbone uma sikhuluma ngezempilo. Nginibingelele ngiphinde futhi nginamukele kwezempilo zwamutakalo with Dr. Prue. Namhlanje nginesihambeli zethu ke okuyibo abahlengikazi ngokuhlukahlukana kwabo. Bazoqala bazi-introduce ukuthi bangobani, basuka kuphi kanti basebenza kuphi. Sicale ngawe Sister T.
Angibonge dokotela ithuba engiliphiwayo. Greetings to yourself, fellow panelists and all the viewers from wherever they are connecting with us. I am Thembisile Matsine. In Mpumalanga, I'm a CEO of Themba Hospital, one of the regional hospitals in the province. Yeah, I am in Mpumalanga. Thank you.
Sibonge Sister T. Sister Mdluli.
Ngibonge kakhulu Dr. Prue and ngibingelele kuba laleli nababuki. Sibonge leli thuba esinikwa lona ukuthi sikhulumisane ngendaba ye Nurses Day. Igama ngududuzile ngwakamdluli. I'm an appointed DDG Clinical Health Services in the province, but currently acting as an HOD in the Department of Health. Thank you.
Sibonge kakhulu sisidudu kanti sizobuya usichazela ukuthi uyihandle kanjani yonke le ndaba. Sibuye ngawe Mr. Ndlovu.
Ngiyabingelela nonke. Igama lami Markos Ndlovu. I was born and bred in Johannesburg endaweni Orange Farm. I trained at 4-5 at Alaska Nursing College. Currently working at Raima Musa Mother and Child Hospital. Yeah, I'm a professional nurse and an advocate.
Sibonge kakhulu lapho Mr. Ndlovu. Sisizwe ngawe Sister Bella Letsoalo.
Good evening, Dr. Prue and the panelists. Mina isiZulu sami asagezanga.
Awubulela Sotho awusaka. Bulela Sotho.
Sotho. All right. Sister Bella Letsoalo, currently residing in Atteridgeville, working as an operational manager in critical care unit and high care unit, Calafong Hospital, Gauteng. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Bella. And Sister Tracy.
To chat. Good evening, Dr. and the panelists. Nami isiZulu sami siyasokola, Sister Tracy.
Ngibona ivela kasifani Tracy khona la Sotho rikabulela Sister.
Okay. I'm a deputy nursing manager in Mediclinic Private Hospital. My primary responsibility is to manage operating theatre. So I'm based in Victoria.
Okay. Rile ukuthatha aus Tracy. Sibe no Dokotela Lamula. Dokotela Lamula ungabingelela ababukele emakhaya.
Greetings everyone, greetings to the panelists. Dr. Lamula Lona. I'm based in Nelspruit. I'm a general practitioner, an occupational health practitioner, but currently I'm busy with traditional medical initiation in the mountains. Thank you.
Sibonge kakhulu Dr. Lamula. Sister Bongi Mkhumbane.
Thank you. I am Sister Bongi Mkhumbane Zungu. I am in Mpumalanga. and I'm working as a nurse educator. I specialize in training the primary healthcare nurses as a specialist. Thank you.
Sizovela siqale ngawe ngoba uweke obafundisayo baze bagcine bafike lapha bafike khona. Njengomfundisi sithi phecelezi i-nursing lecture. Usithathe njengomsebenzi wakho ukuthi ese-nursing lecture kukufuneka ufundele ini wenzeni ukuze umuntu athole i-nursing lecture.
Okay, thank you. As a nurse, you need to have your national certificate, matric. This generation they call it umalusi. You need to have passed with a bachelor's degree. But in our times, we used to say you need to pass with an examination, especially on 3 subjects, which will be biology, English, and one of the science subjects. These days they call it English. You need to have level 4, and then in one of the science subjects also you need to have level 4 and upwards. It can be agriculture, it can be biological sciences, it can be physical sciences, it can be mathematics, pure maths. You need to have level 4. But if it's maths lit, you can have level 5 and upwards. That's the criteria which they use for admission at the colleges and the universities. And then if you have got that, it means you have the minimum requirements that you can be taken to train as a general nurse. So sometimes the journey becomes long because some of the nurses are starting by doing the care nurse, which they do mostly in private colleges, which is sometimes, most of the times, it is 6 months. If you pass it, then they take you to register for nursing auxiliary. Then that one will take you for a year. After that one, you can be admitted as a staff nurse, which can take you 2 years. And from a staff nurse, you can then do the course, which is called breeding course, for 2 years, for you to become a general nurse, which is a professional nurse. That one is the nurses that are wearing maroon epaulets, but they don't have hearts, which means the individual will have gone for 4 years training. And then there is a shortcut. There was the course which was called R425, the one which I was admitted to train. It is normally called the 4-year course, where you are registered for 4 years to do your training. And after the 4 years, if you were passing well, you are going to be registered as a general nurse, and you will have done psychiatry, which is mental health. You will also have done midwifery, where we assist pregnant women to deliver, and we go with them through the 9 months period journey, and then you will have registered as a community health nurse, where you will be seeing patients or clients at the clinic. Then you do that one for 4 years and you come out with those qualifications. It's the course which is called the R425 promising concept. It can be done at nursing colleges. It can also be done at the universities. And now it has stopped that R425. A new curriculum has been started called R171, where the training is not going to be 4 years anymore. It has started in 2020, and the first class of 2020 is the one that will be doing their last year, this year 2022. And they are going to graduate as professional nurses. They will be wearing maroon epaulets with no bar. So if they want to specialize, now they will have to choose whatever that they want. It can be midwifery, it can be community, it can be psychiatric nursing, it can be whatever that a person wants or is interested in doing. And then for you to be a nursing educator, or a nurse lecturer, you need to have a bachelor's degree in nursing, and then you need to specialize, do nursing education, and you need to have a master's degree in nursing. The criteria for you to be admitted as a nursing lecturer, for you to be registered as a nursing lecturer. I think I have mentioned everything, not unless there's a question. Thank you so much. The curriculum I once checked is the same, especially with the R425. Everything theory is the same. The only thing that we did for myself, I did my nursing at a college. The only thing that is a slight difference is the experience that we get. Because when you are in a nursing college, maybe they will say when you are doing first year, according to the timetable, for a month you will be going for theory block where you will be taught theory in class. And then the following month, you move out of classroom and you go to the wards or to the clinical area. It can be wards, it can be clinics, it can be wherever where patients are taken care of. And then you get the practice. Then the following month, you will be going for your theory. After that month elapses, you need to go back to clinical practice where you are going to practice what you have been taught in class. And then by the end of the 4 years, you will be knowing almost everything about the patient. Because if I can say maybe myself in first year, I did at the classroom, I only had 3 months from the whole year to do theory nursing. And all the other months, I was doing practical in clinics, in labor wards, in casualties, community health, home visits, even visit centers like the centers where where they are helping those who have been addicted to drugs. You will go to mental health institutions with all of the other months in that year. The month that will be given theory is only 3 months in the whole year. So with university students, nursing students, for the whole year, they will be doing theory. They will only be taken for clinicals for a specific shorter period than those that are training at the colleges. Those that are at the colleges, they are, if we can say, they used to say we are doing 50-50. You are half an employee and half a student. So when you pick one that has done training at the college has got more exposure to clinicals than the students who are at the university. Thank you.
Oh, okay. As Mr. Ndlovu, ngiyamuzwa uSista Mkhumbane ukhuluma nge-maternity kanti you are one of the sisters. Awusaqale lapha, awusicorrect. Sesekuhle uhlelo lapha yanesa. Mr. Ndlovu?
So registration, in fact, the registration it gives us when, as she has explained, at 45, you become a registered nurse who already started a midwife. So suddenly you see that this level, yeah, so in registration, professionalness and action. So that is the separation in registration. But we are often mistaken by all patients, but it's doctor. With time, it was correct, but you can say if you want, but you can never say sister. Appropriate. So yeah. Yeah, so enough.
Okay. Okay, so
specialties and in fact, I have in my specialties. We compare midwifery positives, fixes. A patient who's for your care. Our patients don't last with us for more than a year. So they move across from antenatal and now working at the hospital. It's even more interesting. For 30 days, then or for 2 weeks. So there's just that aspect in maternity that makes it interesting. The patients, they can be in distress and in pain, experiencing labor pains, and in no time, that whole experience changes to become a moment of
maternity wards. Yini kahle inkinga engihlangabezana nayo mina ningabonesi ku-maternity wards mhlawumbe ungathanda ukuthi mhlawumbe masakhona 1 2 3 short staff or yini le ama-patient nokuningi abaqala kuphela nge-maternity wards.
Yeah. Maternity ward is one of the wards that you can say that most of the time, literally, there's so much motion going on in a maternity ward. And that gives rise to communication, when you communicate with the patient who is in pain and little for them works as far as hearing and all those things are concerned. So it's one of the challenges that I face, communication that we face as practitioners and also the patients. So if that can be sort of become a culture of us to really learn how to communicate better with our patients, and deal with that emotional sort of that thing. Once we can be able to deal with that emotional encounter, then we learn to communicate better. On a continuous basis, it's one of the things. And that's where you have our colleagues to my attitude. They don't know how to talk to patients and so on. But now they defend themselves and say, as much as we can communicate, patients are not doing what we ask them to do. You ask them the patient, and they do the opposite. So that's become a communication barrier, and I think some colleagues there research they can help us with that. How that can counter that. And we look at other businesses, we are having challenges like we have overcrowding patients in the media for patient allow the flow and so on. We have that issue, but that overcrowding is also coupled with shortage midwives and all other health professionals. That's one other challenge. And also shortage of space, we might be having all other patients is gone, but as soon as we space and our resources for us to improve the quality of the patient. So those are some of the challenges that we have. But another challenge that I just said, as I said, like things also becomes a challenge as well. When my current patient or patient, let's say, son or woman has a poor outcome, maybe the baby dies, or something happens to the mother, that need to actually switch and go back to the next patient. And while you are still trying to make up with the I've lost the patient. But that's just one of the other challenges. There might be many other challenges my colleagues Thank you.
Tracy. Why do you choose theater?
Theater I did the enrollment in SG Lawrence, and after my 2-year course, then I went to placed to serve contract. They were placed in different wards. I was placed in a gynae ward. Then I had a colleague, a friend who was placed in theater. Then nurses who were staying at nurses because we are placed in tutoring. And nurses who would talk about our experiences. Then she told me, there's this thing called anesthetic nursing. You showed me it's so nice. You help anesthetic doctor theater, and when we were children, we went to theater, but we did not experience that part. And I was interested to know what is this anesthetic nurse. And then I went to the matron at the time, Miss Ngozi, and I asked her if I can help in theater. I want to see what is anesthetic nursing. That's when I ended up in theater. Then I had to leave public sector, then I came to private sector. That's where my love for theater started, hearing this term anesthetic nursing. Then I started in private hospital. I got a security post in the next hospital. I was still an anesthetic nurse. And I went for the bridging. Sister has explained about the bridging course. I went for the bridging course. Then I became a registered nurse. Then I started scribing. We've got 3 categories, not really categories, but we can see we've got three functions, or 6 functions. We've got a scribe sister, that's mainly professional nurses and operating department, they are not nurses. Then we've got anesthetic nurse and circulating nurse. So I became a scrub nurse now. I'm a sister. I take charge of the operating room. Then I moved to clinic. Then while still scrubbing in the operating room setup, I went to the University of Pretoria to do my specialty. Then I did the BK, we call it BK. Then you come up with theater specialty, you come up with management, you come up with education. And I did all those things, and I came back and I've enrolled for masters and busy doing my final year masters in nursing management, mainly in theater, also in class. So now I'm practicing as a theater manager, and it's something that is very dear to my heart, because that's when many mistakes, I'll say mistakes, that's why the patient cannot advocate for themselves. So we serve as the advocates for the patient safety. Let's say, I'm not lying well, I've been lying this for a very long time. Please tell me that that's where the patient safety comes in.
Wow. Because ubreka motiate and little scrapness. Scrapness can be great. Most of the time, doctor are scalpel, all those things. Most of the time, the doctor, you forget the instrument, complicated as to be this is really not
we know that you wouldn't wake up one day and say, today I'm going to leave a packet inside. Yes. Alexander Pope said to err is human. So 2008, World Health Organization came with we call it surgical safety checklist. It was invented in 2008 to those risks or gravity substances or and if we practice and we are adherent to it, 99% of the time our patients will be safe. That didn't happen. It happens. Of the scrap sister, some they always are not as but they always say, oh, sorry. So,
I think it's network.
Okay, so Yes. So this surgical safety checklist, that's against that. But sometimes surgeons will, some sisters are afraid of surgeons because the theater belongs to the staff sister. Is the in charge of theater. When you train, they'll tell you that the patient advocate, you are in charge of the case. So sometimes you'll find that the nurses are afraid to confront the surgeon. When you see that this person is not practicing, the instruments belong to the staff person. So you find that it goes beyond to take the instruments from your Mayo table from and use them. So sometimes it's because of this, the lack of hearing, not really patient advocacy, but you say no, don't do this, night theater. And gradually, you find you got a list, especially in private hospitals. You find that you put a list, you got 15 patients on the list. You cannot be safe from patient number 1 to patient number 15. Sometimes it's because of exhaustion, you cannot concentrate anymore. But if you are again this surgical safety checklist, then it's we mitigate against those risks.
I really want to know, Sister Tracy. COVID-19, COVID-19, but they have mentioned COVID-19, ICU was easy. Why is that when you choose ICU, usebenza ngabantu abakhuluma basemshini ukuphela yiyo kwezobenzothando lusebenza ICU kanti during this pandemic of COVID, how was it the ICU?
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. Having dedicated the 30 years of my 55 years to nursing, 22 of it has been to ICU. So ICU is my everything. I entered ICU 2000. And the first time I went in there, because we never had to have a chance of getting into ICU as student nurses. And you were hearing doctors talking about ASTRAP. And then I didn't know what this ASTRAP is. It's actually the blood test whereby we analyze the homeostasis of your body functioning, the balance. So I wanted to know more. And this multidisciplinary approach whereby everybody's word is heard in ICU, we actually work as a team. And my first day there was actually inspired by the nurses, who most of them actually went on pension. I think we have only one that is left who will be going on pension soon. You know, they love it displayed to their patient, their care, their dedication to those patients whom they understood that they are solely under their mercy. Just to get the panel understand that, you know, public sector ICU, we net critical, very critical patients. Also related to the fact that our people are seeking help very late. They try other means before they come to hospital. So when they come to ICU setting, really, we be struggling with them. And having such patients and going back to those nurses, irrespective of everything else, shortage of resources, how those nurses love their patients. You know, the compassion that they nurse their patients. You would have seen how they competed with those patients on the bed, saying, then so patient is straight, the linen and everything and the surrounding is clean. And you would love to be like those nurses. And that's the other thing that inspired me. I saw the importance of appreciating life when I entered into the unit, because of people are really fighting for their life. Yeah, the families are just in dismay. They are frustrated. The loved ones are not talking. They are on the dialysis machine. They are on plasmapheresis machines. They are on ventilators. And but you see the greatness of God, and you see the mercy that God has upon us that are still standing on our feet. And it teaches you to appreciate life. And you will appreciate life and be satisfied with what you have, mostly your health. Because you never know. When I enter the unit, I say, normally, you never know what the next minute will bring to you, because you have patients who go to work, sudden collapse, and they are in ICU. So that has taught me to appreciate every minute of my life, the health that I have and the little that I'm having. And yes, ICU is never without challenges. There are good times when you see the patient. Our length of stay basically is 5 to 7 days for those ideal patients whom got because they are resuscitation well, and they were not because we do organ support in ICU, and we do hemodynamic monitoring, and it's adult ICU that I'm working in, and I'm currently the operational manager, but I worked in the same ICU, and you could have seen the patients that we're having lying there, lifeless. Then all of a sudden that eye opens up. You become so happy. We'll be calling one another, come, nice, waiting a doctor, I see this. A movement of a hand in ICU is appreciated. Moving a hand or blinking an eye, we appreciate such movements. And those are our happy moments. And we have patients whom we have spent, I remember this lady who spent like 3 months post-delivery, cardiomyopathy, the baby went home, but she had all the bags, hospital bags, renal failure and all, but finally won. She went home, and she would come to ICU every time she comes for her visit at the hospital. She learned walking again, and that is everything to me. But there are moments that you will feel like crying. Yeah. There's nothing that you can do. We have tried everything else, and nothing seems to be helping. And really, that is taking a toll on us. Yes, we have systems in the hospital that we can support for debriefing, but really it becomes so heavy on you, because of sometimes maybe you have been married your last one, maybe it's a month ago or some time ago, and this other patient passes on. Then it's just you all the memories. And the multidisciplinary approach I'm enjoying. We have family meetings. We walk the walk with the families because we don't want to play God. We don't know. We explain as we're starting what our plans are, and we give our patients and the families basically, because of the time the patients are not talking for themselves. We are the advocates, and we keep the families informed. And we have family meetings whereby we have a starting point, we update, but we only need a family representative, and legally so must be a next of kin to guard against whatever can come against us. And it works like a bomb. Like I've been listening to the minister in labor ward. I think the root cause of all the complaints that we're getting in hospitals generally, not to be specific, is a right to information and continuous information and a documented information. Because of, when you're going to talk to someone, sometimes, the fact that their loved one is sick, they won't be hearing you. And you have to repeat yourself. And you have to find out from the person to repeat after you if he understands what you're telling that person. And you know, in the unit that I'm heading, I'm that I'm operational manager, but you find me, I'm actively involved with patient caring, and I know what's happening in the unit. And I tell the nurses, when somebody is calling and saying, how is Mrs. Letsoalo doing? You cannot be telling the person that she is still sick. Everybody is sick. They just want to find out what's the progress, and you don't have to tell like in details telephonically because you're not sure whom you're speaking to, but you can always find out from the person what does she know about the reason for admission of the patient in hospital. And you take it from there. Is the sugar stabilizing? You see, is the sugar stabilizing? Is the blood pressure stabilizing? What is the plan going forward? And if we can keep that continuous communication with our clients, that can reduce our complaint rate, I suppose, because of normally you sit even in the addresses of the hospital, and when you listen, the root cause is the communication. Because of even in theater, you know, there's never an operation, like the sister said, you never wake up one morning and go to work to say you're going to harm. The purpose is just to save the patient. And it happens. No surgery is without complications, but if you know before surgery that 1, 2, 3, 4 can happen, and you understand, and you sign for that, and I think it will like reduce all the complaints in the public sector, especially because of we normally hide behind being busy and short staffed, but I believe if we can give yourself time to have one complete good product, and unlike doing mass production, and then we create those gaps. So maybe if we can have those sessions that if Bella and Dr. Prue are going for a specific surgery, we make placards, we write, we notify them, they have time if it's an elective to go and read about it and have questions about it and have people answer those questions. Because of when you open in theater, because we have such patients that we admit from to ICU, that you know we'll be having relatives saying we didn't know this is fine, but I know I myself had a history for me, and I did it in private. The doctor came up, I read, he told me that I can bleed, told me that I can die. And in private, in public sector, we scared to tell people that you can die from this thing. But it's going to be all in our power is going to be done that you are safe. But we don't know what we're going to get in there. Because of when you open the doing operation, you don't know what is happening. So if maybe we can just go back to what we bought and give that information, it's valuable information. So I see you, the struggles that we're facing today is resources, like you'll be having an 86 competition for resources and the Health Act, and you'll be having somebody waiting for the bed in casualties, and we know that resuscitative phase, if you get it on time, it determines the outcome. So sometimes you spend a lot of time there in casualties, but people are very busy, they cannot give you that individualized care that you can give in ICU, and maybe in suggestion that nurses, most of the nurses should be paid in ICU, which the government has taken upon an initiative now during the COVID, that there were short courses done during COVID because of the ventilator support that people needed, and then it's going on. I appreciate that. So that maybe satellite wards can be opened when a patient is still needing or awaiting a bed in the critical care area. Like the unit that I'm heading is 8-bedded, and we will extend to high care and ventilate to unblock theatre. And sometimes we are very, we can't do a thing. We are overstretched. And then that puts a stretch on the nurses. And you know, the poor nurses are trying their best. During COVID, it was there. But we managed because we were ready as a hospital. We prepared the unit, and then we got the COVID contracts, and we came up with a plan that we're going to do skill mix so that we transfer skill to the ones that we're getting new. So we mixed, we were circulating ICU staff to the COVID ward to go and assist the other side, and it did yield up good results because of most of the nurses now, you know, they appreciate the initiative, and they are more competent to get these ventilators. As for the status of the COVID currently, the numbers, I think the Delta was the most virulent one, but the subsequent variants, yes, the numbers are increasing now, but they are not as virulent as the Deltas. I'm attributing this to maybe most of the people are immunized, and I think we should promote immunization. And I understand the scare of everyone regarding the quick development of immunization, but awareness has to be taken to the people that must understand that everything now, the world has just evolved so much that everything is possible at any given time. More people should get immunized. Ventilators we have, nurses are trained, the struggle is no longer as before, and I think even if we can get the fifth wave, we'll be able to mitigate ourselves through it. The one thing that I don't know how to solve it is we have a recipe. What I have observed is, yes, currently we say we are admitting negative patients into the ICU, and then we test them before they can be admitted to ICU high care. But what I have seen that when you are in the same room like we are now, and we are tested, and maybe we remain there for 2-3 days, the possibilities are even those who tested negative get infected. Because of they test negative, but they still have it, they still have to eat, and they still have to do everything. Yes, they distancing, but remember, it's an airborne, it's just like TB, basically. Yes. So we never knew of it. It was new to everyone. Our hospitals were not built to cater for that, but the ideal will be like cubicles, where everybody will be enclosed in his or her own space, like partitions, glass partitions, or whatever cardboard partitions, so that when you are in that specific area and you are tested, it guarantees that whoever is positive will never infect the one who came in negative.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know if I've answered all your questions, Dr. Prue, but thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Isabella. You've answered even the questions that I was going to ask you. And I said to the Sister T, as the CEO of the one of the biggest hospitals in Mkhumbane, but we know you didn't start to boom about CEO. Can you just take us back to what would be until CEO corner? CEO,
thank you, Dr. Prue. Appreciations to And I came to Mpumalanga. I do want to share how I got here. Well, I was always dreaming to become a medical doctor. I did a bursary from one of the companies. I don't think it's in existence. But now, out of excitement, or I guess also not being that exposed, we never realized that conditions of the bursary are secondary. I was disappointed, such a time of distress, and thinking to say with my sister in problems stuff. And like for during those times, where teachers other than teachers, they went to locate in the hospital and substituted my sister who was then. And that's why I knew that for sure I want to be in the hospital in whatever form. I then applied to train as a nurse then why which is now I went through the program that Usbongi was talking to which is cleaning. Well, I then served different levels of assessing both in the public and private sector. And I joined the office of the people. I was supporting the council. Also, the council at time, and then we were linking to the office of the premier as we know issues are quite strategic and say they globally. I say that thing that I'm cleaning it was like for me it's listen I just was going to make it my church was with the it was a quite good program. I went into the HBB program where I call it the HIV medicine as a major and my master confesses things were different. But I'm glad that because now for my long time I have been involved with education and care. And now you are managing someone implementation. And then other areas of courses that question, but unfortunately you have to implement more the implementation quickly that the and it was nice. I was in touch with our responsibility period to go and meet my child and the level of responsibility was introduced during that now account for budgets, you account for human resources that have been trusted to you account with things have we was some good training and good exposure and it was also writing an opportunity to be able to sympathize with the colleagues that they who are expected to implement this. I then my time ended in Mother went into really back to no I was supporting the strategic partnerships where I engage with successful stakeholders in another stakeholders. It has assisted the department to sign a memorandum of understanding, mobilize resources. We did that anything that is in the strategic direction. Working closely with our partners. I enjoyed it. It was a sort of the definition happening. In between all these times, I was also studying part-time, which I then applied my degree as a district kitchen and manager. that I will finish my honors degree this year, public administration. But then I was promoted and trusted with the responsibility of leading a big, I must say, big regional hospital in Thelani district here in Mkhumbane, which is where I am. I am enjoying. I have indicated prior that I'm a public health specialist, at heart. I am an advocate of quality healthcare. I want to see people being informed and empowered so that they make decisions, that will ensure that for the local benefit, they have longevity in terms of life and quality of life. Where unfortunately disease truth, they are informed on how to manage it. And I'm now back at patient care at different level. Of course, I'm accounting and overseeing, but I can not honestly stop appreciating the opportunity and the exposure at this level. It is a hot set, but I am checking in all what I have been through, in terms of my career life. In that, I did say that I was dealing with strategic partners. Now I do have my community, my patients, their relatives. I have been in the public sector, private sector as a nurse practitioner. I am tapping into that in terms of motivating and mentoring the colleagues that are there. And it is all now coming into use. The policies that I had when I was provincial officers now at micro level, I am ensuring that they are understood, they are implemented, colleagues are capacitated. We push the agenda of quality healthcare.
So God put you in different places at the right time. That is the right time.
Doctor, Uma saying holism, you will never understand. I think generally as colleagues, you would want to grow some understanding as hierarchy, self-actualization. But we are very impatient with ourselves. I don't know that it's the environment that we find ourselves. We want things to happen at our own pace, the way we want, which is why I think as nurses, as nurse leaders in particular, because when you are responsible to mentor and guide and oversee resources, we should be having this thing of imparting patience to our neophytes, understanding things that happen for a purpose, but most of all, to use every given opportunity as a learning opportunity. I tell you, I'm tapping off from whatever I learned as a community nurse in Makhathini in those times. I am tapping into the experience that I got into when I was at medicine, relationships that I built then. They are coming here. It does fall into place, and it is indeed for a purpose.
So that as a CEO, that means from the beginning, security belongs to you. You control the security. You control the cleaner, the gardener, the nurses, the doctors, everyone is in your hands.
Wow. Let me share just a quick one just today, because now I could see the time my batteries were dying, and then Ndlovu has been rehearsal. Now this cat is so collect. I said my uniform, where? As I was rushing out to pick my child around, the nurse was coming. You could see that I'm getting that respect. Just because it was either that room course, we juggle. But I can say we are superhuman. It's very important to have good social support, but also let it start with you. You need to be very stable. Like I said before, patience with yourself to say, I'm not a super person, I'm not a superman, I'm superwoman. I will have challenges. It is important for me to extend a hand and say, I need help. So I have a good support system, starting from my church groups and mates, plus family, that I also now in the neighborhood, because I started, I'm sure in favor. Ngaqala into yabo mama la elayini ukuthi mamelani siyalandelana abantwana, because I knew ukuthi bayongilandela kaningi more than anything. But it's also a blessing to have understanding children. Babe spirit, so understand that not today, we're gonna go to the mall whenever, and that can you be responsible, do your homework, do that. So I just call them, the wind beneath my wings, because they're not demanding. When we eat pizza, because also when children are exposed to other influences, they start confusing you. You are not balanced. You cannot do that. But spiritually, it's where I tap, and the social support that I have. But more than anything, I have also from all the levels to think, even in my times in medical, we had to put it 6:30 exactly. So I have also been lucky just to be supported by colleagues and my managers who understand.
Oh, that's great. I just want so touching that support. I wanted to find out, do you have the support, especially from colleagues? Do you have that support?
Yeah. Oh, colleagues, hey. Colleagues, I'm a believer of building of relationships, and I want them to happen naturally. But I also don't want. Did I lose you?
There you are.
Dr. Pro. Oh, yeah. Okay, your video went off. But I want that we focus on the primary objective. And these interpersonal relations, we know our traits, we know, because I do want that distinct line when we are at work and when there is or there should be time to play. And this for me, it's very important because I'm in the environment and the company of colleagues that I know very well. They taught me, I worked with them, and I had to come, as I'm coming back now, in a different portfolio, make sure that I don't lose that. Accountability is very important. And I cannot let Dr. Prue get away with it, because Dr. Prue, it is very important. We are working with lives here, and the colleague from ICU outlined it very well. I went in there, I said, you know me, I know you, let's work. I'm not coming with anything different. I'm just coming with the responsibility that I am an accounting a person here. But it is very important that with colleagues you keep a healthy working relationship. When that is well leveled, then people can see that you're an open person. Then they start engaging with you on other issues. Then you also become their social support. But it starts with the primary objective. Thanks.
So Sister T. Sistudu, ngayingibiza kasistudu. Sisikubona manje sowulapha ngo-DTG, kuma-acting HOD. Mara akusicalele phansi ukuthi uqale kuphi, mawuceda nje e-college uke wasebenza kuphi-ke? Ubani sistudu?
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Sis Prue. Osis Dudu is just a simple lady from humble beginnings. I am a daughter of a pastor. My father was a pastor, Pastor Mashangu, who has passed on. My mom is still alive. I was born and bred in Middleburg. I'm from Mdluli, and I did even my matriculants at Mdluli. And then from there, I went, and as I was saying that, I'm from the humble beginnings, that I went to Mkhumbane Hospital where I was trained as a nursing assistant. That's where I started my profession. I went and trained as a nursing assistant, and I can say that there's no stage that I don't know, of being a nurse. So from being a nursing assistant, I was then taken to Temba Hospital, where then I was trained as a staff nurse. However, I couldn't finish that course. I think I did only 6 months of training. And because when I moved from Mkhumbane to Temba Hospital, it was during that period where they were then ending the old course of a 3-year professional nurse, starting with the new 4-year course. And therefore at Temba, there was no training at that time. They were still preparing to start with their 4-year course. So when I came there, then they put me to train as a staff nurse. But then I wasn't satisfied because, I was looking at myself since, I've been a person who's never satisfied, by remaining where I am. I always wanted to improve. And therefore, then I went to Gauteng. So I left Temba. I only worked 6 months, exactly 6 months at Temba, went to Gauteng. In Gauteng, that's where I was trained as a professional nurse in Laratong Hospital, Bonalisedi College. Actually, we were not only at Laratong, we were moving along all the hospitals, Tembisa Hospital, BBR Hospitals, Bukeng Hospital. So I was trained there, and I did my 4-year course there. And then when on completion, I came back home. When I came back home, my father was already transferred from Midwife. Pastors are moving, they gather no more. So he was now in Emelo, in Brayton, a small town next to Emelo, Brayton. So I went and stayed with my parents, and I worked in Emelo Hospital as a professional nurse. And then from there, I got married. Then I moved to Rob Ferreira Hospital as a professional nurse. So I worked at Rob Ferreira Hospital, and then at Rob Ferreira Hospital, I then went and worked as a lecturer at Rob Ferreira Hospital. I was heading the midwifery training. When Say was talking there, I could relate to what he was saying because, in midwifery, that's where I specialized in. And, because midwifery, I think it's people who don't want to deal with routine. Those people, they just want to see new things every day. And that is me. So I moved, and then from Rob Ferreira being the head of the midwifery training, I moved to provincial office. At provincial office, then I was appointed as an assistant director responsible for youth services and school health services. And that's where also I excelled. I started the school health services that was not there, and I established the school health services. I also established youth-friendly, services in the province, and of which, even national, they came to benchmark from us and taking all our strategies, implementing them throughout the country. And from there, I moved. I was then appointed as a deputy director for maternal child, responsible for the program of maternal and child in the province. And I was then subsequently appointed as a director for maternal and child health services. And from there, I was appointed as a chief director for primary health care, responsible for district health system. And from district health system, then I was appointed as a DGG, Clinical Health Services. And currently I am the acting head of the department in Mpumalanga. And that is me.
Wow. So, sister, you are an acting HOD, we are a DTG. These are hectic positions. How do you handle them?
I can say that it is through the grace of God, because, as Tembi was saying, you need that support system. And I'm grateful, for the colleagues that I'm having at work, that, they are there as a supporting system. In whatever we are doing, we are working as a team. And I really appreciate the team that I'm working with, because with them, I can see that we are moving. And also, I must appreciate my family, that, I've got a very supportive husband. God gave me a very understanding and a supportive husband who's there, making sure that when I'm not there, I will find him already standing on the stove, trying to make pap. And when I come there, then I would just be taking over. So, he is there to complement where I'm having gaps. So God has blessed me with a very, very loving husband who is there for me as a supporting system. And also my kids, they are there as a very good supporting system. And they are always there to make sure, when I come in, Mama, are you not tired? Mama, don't you want a cup of coffee? And that, it makes you to say, I still need to go on and make more difference out there. And also, I must be thankful to my church, my pastor, Pastor Mdluli and Mrs. Mdluli. They are a very good supporting system to me. They pray for me, and every time they would call and, and say, we are seeing you in the spirit and we are there supporting you. So I can say that I've got a very good supporting system that is making me to be able to stand and be who I am today.
Sibonge kakhulu sisidudu. Dr. Lamula. Usesekhona nje Lamula? Dr. Lamula. Because of the network akasatholakali kahle. Sibuyele kuye Sister Mkhumbane.
Am I audible? Am I audible, bro?
Bese ngizobhalekile. Dr. Lamula. From internship udlula kuyo uzofike lapho usukhona namhlanje. Ungathini ngabosista nje?
I think thatha isikhathi ngibonge ukuthi ungi-invitile ukuthi nami ngizocelebrate nani lelanga lelibaluleke kakhulu kangaka. In my experience as udokotela, ayiqali ku-internship. It actually started at the 3rd year level, where they sent us to all the different clinics and hospitals to go and practice midwifery. Yes. Remember, when you're a student, they give you a logbook, you must come back with 15 cases.
But Dr. Lamula, I would love to see your face. I would love to see your face. I want to see you when you are sharing those tears.
No, I'm in a car, I'm driving, I'm in the mountains. Remember, I said I'm doing traditional medical initiation. So I'm responding to a call. Yes, I'm responding to a call somewhere around the MLO. But I was still saying that it does not only start in internship. For me, it started when I was doing 3rd year, when we were sent to the hospitals and clinics to go and practice midwifery. Remember, we needed to deliver around 15 or so. I have found the nurses there to be welcoming, helpful, and they taught us. I walked there not even knowing what 2 centimeters should look like, what meconium should look like. All those things, as much as today we disrespect them and remind them that they were not in the corridors. Yes. But they are the backbone, they are our teachers, they are the ones who have given us the practical aspect that we have incorporated into the theory lesbuyenayo esikolweni. So mina ngibona nje nase casualty masifika or OPD sesingena sesima intern ngaphandle kwabo, you must just look at it. If there are those interns labacanga ukuthi bahlakaniphile and they hide ngemakhetheni nani, they usually don't get to learn many things because the experience there is with the sister. Uzokutshela ukuthi le patient le imanejwa kanje nakanje nakanje uzohamba uyofunda ibook yakho emuva kodwa i-patient uyisavile impilo. So they are very crucial and critical and very helpful ku-growth yabodokotela. Bengifisa nje ukuthi mhlawumbe bakhona abodokotela abaningi abalalele ukuthi bakhona ekwazi ukuthi bonesi kumele babahloniphe ngoba yibo i-backbone, yibo abasifundisayo ukuthi le theory lesibuya nayo i-practical yakhona injani, kunakekela patient basho ini.
Ngilanga labo namhlanje International Nurses Day. Yini ofuna ukuyisho nje Dr. Lamula kumanesi namhlanje?
Mina ngifuna ukudlulisa kubonga kubo bonke abonesi abakhona ukonke lokhu basenzela kona singodokotela sibuya singenalutho singazi lutho nokuthi drip ifakwa kanjani nokuthi umuntu uthungwa kanjani wena nethu ufundisiwe nje kuphela babe basibekezelele basifundise konke. So bengithi nje ngibonge ukuthi hey lokho nikwenza anyenzeli thina. It's for the good of the community because at the end of the day the community thinks the doctor knows it all. Kanti thina we know ukuthi we are a team and in a team obviously we are going to conquer. So bengibafisela ilanga lelihle and nokuthi ngifisele la labadala labakhona kunesini ukuthi bafundise la labancane labazakho because if ungabuka there's a huge gap between them and la labazakho in terms of the way things were done and the way this new generation sees it. So it's important that they impart the knowledge bangahambi nayo make sure ukuthi babafundisa so that kube ne-peace and kube ne-continuity ye-care yema-patient.
Yes, it's not in their scope. Ngibonge kakhulu Dr. Lamula, ngibonge isikhathi sakho. Ngibonge kakhulu.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu nami sengifikile la bengikhona. Nibe nelanga elihle.
Ngibonge kakhulu dokotela. Sister Bongi, are you still with us? Sister Bongi, Mkhumbane sesivala nje sister. Bengifuna nje usichazele ukubanzi ngoba maningi ama-flight by night nursing college. Ngicela nje ukuchazisela ababukeli ekhaya ukuthi bangawabona kanjani lama-flight by night kanti bawa-avoide kanjani. Sesivala nje sister Bongi. Sister Bongi? Okay. Singachitha isikhathi Mr. Ndlovu. Njengoba usuchazile ukuthi yes, njengoba usuchazile ukuthi kuba ne-shortage kuma-midwife and a result kulama problems esiwafesayo kuma-maternity wards. Yini into ongathanda ukuyisho namhlanje kuyilanga lenu ku-Department of Health kuma-patient ethu nakuma-colleagues ethu nje so we-bother nje sir.
Okay, no, thank you so much, Dr. Prue. One of the things that are very key is now our patients, the community members. Singama nurse and as Mkhulumele nje onke ama-health professionals, we are not against the patients, and you know, nama situations are unfortunate. It's not because we are not for the patients. We are truly are for the patients, and sifuna nani nabo ama-patient community yazi ukuthi mukhetha ukuthi uzoba yinesi usuke ukhethe bona more than uzikhethile wena. You know, usuke ukhethe, you know, the community more than your own family and your own ambitions and everything. So I just want them to know that to be a little bit patient with us. You know, most of the time we are fighting and battling with a system that that gives rise to these problems as Sinazo today. So we can stand together and fight together through understanding our challenges now. The population here cooler and nurses are, you know, are shrinking. Health professionals are sort of shrinking and not being able to meet the needs of the community. So that is for a community to be more patient with us and to be more understanding of all these things that are currently happening. To government, I think that what is currently happening in nursing. Nursing is sort of undergoing a complete metamorphosis, a complete change, really. And it is going to, if we don't tread carefully as a government, then we are going to end up with a huge demand of nursing professionals, and then we'll have only, we won't be able to supply for our population that is forever increasing and forever growing. So let us, once we change the profession and professionalize it the way that it's supposed to be, ngathi government anga-increase ama-intake ema-colleges avule iminyango nje so that abantu bangena bane-passion bakwazi ukungena ku-nursing, bakwazi ukunesa ama-patient wethu. Also to our fellow colleagues esebenza nawo, our professionals who form part of the interprofessional teams, interdepartmental teams, multidisciplinary teams. I think that one of the things that are truly happening is that clinicians clash a lot. I'm just calling on us to work together. It's Nurses Day today. We are celebrating nurses. There's so many things that are going. One of the things the doctor has just said is that, we even remind each other that you are not in the corridors and things like that. And those things, they truly happen, and they happen in heated moments, in critical moments where the life of the patient is actually at risk. So let us try and continue to work with each other, listen to each other where there's a need, and just to understand that the patient is our common, and there's nothing else. After this dealing with patient, now we don't matter at all. What matters is this, our patient. I just wanted to share that, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr.
To all our colleagues.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ndlovu. Siyabonga kakhulu isikhathi sakho. Metron Tracy, Kwenaite. Kalitsatsi la lona today, International Nurses Day. Ke ho ba ratang butsa batho go high, especially o thashitse taba e kgolo mo gore sometimes clear doctor I tsela di instrument mola asanya go utlwela selo while ke le wena responsible for theater. O ka rata o reng today?
Dr. Pungarata hore the society must know that nurses are educated people, and through thorough training to be where we are today. So, nekirata hape hore ba doctor le community at large ba support the man, like Mr. Markos said, not just in public hospital. The pool of is getting smaller and smaller. We are struggling. Theater must have 3 perioperative nurses, but sometimes you find yourself running with 2 perioperative nurses. And community at large, let's encourage. Let's not ask Mr. Markos to be the last generation that are doing nursing. Let's encourage our children to do nursing. Nursing is the backbone of healthcare system globally, and it will remain the service of mankind. If you are a person who is able to give back to the community, nursing is one of the profession that you can give back to the community. And Kirata Tata, if offer back to community, it's fulfillment and orubala better with knowing I've done my best under the conditions taken on. So let's encourage our children. We are. It's not like a all. That's why at the end of the day, it's a service to mankind. I'm looking after the community. So One of our managers where I work, the executive managers, was saying maybe we should go to the schools and read Tomeko grade 10, because we normally do this thing, the career guidance when they are already grade 12, then we invite them and showcase nursing. Maybe as early as when they leave primary, we should make them aware that there's this profession that it's beneficial to humankind.
Thank you so much, Metron Tracy. Re leboge thata nako ya hao le information o e fileng batho ko gae. Sister Bella.
Yes, Doc.
Ngiyazi njengoba usebenza e-ICU kakhulu nge-COVID sishiya abaningi osister. Abantu abaningi bashonile during COVID. What is your message today to their families, and what is your message to the community? National Nurses Day.
Yeah, happy Nurses, International Nurses Day to all the hardworking nurses. You are real heroes amidst all the challenges that you're facing. Just soldier on. We will conquer one day, hopefully. And to all those who lost their loved ones during the COVID pandemic, it's a huge loss to ourselves also. May the souls of the departed rest in peace, and may you be comforted in that they will always remain in our hearts and they will always be remembered by their colleagues. And, you know, the training of the nurses, you didn't ask me, but I'll have to go there. I think the colleges must be opened. This thing of saying they want to produce a critical thinking nurse. Critical thinking, you cannot go to school for it. Let them, you know, we trained at colleges, myself. This price tag that they are attaching to training nurses is way too much. I trained for free at Libone College, but I think they have to make it attainable and feasible for the person who needs to come there, because of nursing is basically a calling. And the criteria of, let them flex this criteria of getting people in, because of this are the people that need to be trained. We were trained by nursing assistants. We were shown work by enrolled nurses. This is a continuous training that is happening in nursing. That is the nature of nursing. All that is taught in I appreciate everything that they teach people and everything. If I were to make a curriculum, there are things that I will remove, because of the main aim is just to save lives, and it must just focus at that and not make this thing so complicated as they're making it now. We're having people like who have been serving in the hospitals without matric. To me, I normally call matric that it's like a lotto. You are marked by someone who doesn't. Sometimes it's a production. They are tired. It depends when your script reach them. So there are people who are productive in hospitals. They don't have matric, but you can see that this person, if given a chance with motivation, he can be a good professional nurse. But he doesn't have that passport to go in and the exception. But you can see that you've worked with this person 5 years, 7 years, but he's such a good nurse and he needs to be given an opportunity. Maybe such must be taken into account for our nurses. So the training of the nurses must be revisited. I mean, I appreciate all the changes, but it doesn't yield, it just yields theoretical nurses. We want practical nurses. And, I understand that a person cannot pass today and be that perfect nurse. We will perfect that nurse. So let it not be such a complicated process, because of this nursing, basically, it's an art that it can be transferred and taught to a person. And nothing in nursing should be termed as old school, because we build new school on old school. And that is our library. And as to our colleagues on this day, I've said they should soldier on. The most important is the interpersonal relationships at work. Like the colleagues have said, has already mentioned, let us know that we are a system. If system is broken at whatever point, it affects the product and our patients will suffer. We know we cannot satisfy the world, but let's try our best. But it starts with us. How are we expecting to give a perfect product when ourselves we cannot function, we cannot form a team and understand one another? What about this person whom we are to serve? So it must start with that relationship. So it's respect. Even if you are Bella, you have worked 20 years, 22 years in ICU, you are still hierarchically under that doctor. Give her or him the necessary respect. And you cannot expect and say, what type of a doctor is this person? Impart the knowledge and be that proudness to say, you are teaching these people. So we must expect and remember, we tend to forget where we're coming from. That's what I tell people, that remind yourself of the first day you entered this unit. Were you the same? So your expectations to this person, somebody held your hand and you are where you are now. So do the same, because of this bed in ICU doesn't have a label. One day, all of us, death and illness, it's imminent. So serve as if serving unto and doing it unto the Lord and doing it to your mom or your parents, because of your kids. Those are the people that we love. And when you go to that bed to serve that patient amidst it all, remember that whatever challenges that you are experiencing, this poor patient shouldn't feel, it shouldn't be transferred to. You go to that bed, you stand at the foot end, and then exchange positions. Put yourself in that bed and put that patient as you, and then do whatever you could have liked that patient to do to you. And this world will be a better place to all of us. And we must know, disease burdens are increasing, populations are increasing, there's no hospital. I've trained at Lebone College of Nursing 1987. Kalafong still have the same number ICU, irrespective of the number of patients that we're seeing. That is a long-standing problem and it will not be solved in 1 year, but we have to do the best of what we having to our patients, because of it's our population that we must be saving. And let's teach, advocate for our patients, but how, moreover, peer teaching. When you see me doing wrong, because we are human, sometimes we become overwhelmed by whatever is happening into our lives. But you shouldn't let a colleague do wrong because of doing wrong to a patient. Within your eyes, you are as much guilty, because you need to protect this patient. So let's be advocates for our patients. Let's be good ambassadors for our patients. And amidst everything, we will overcome the hurdle one day, hopefully. We're seeing it's not getting better, it's getting worse. When I was training, we were having cubicle nursing.
one unit, one cubicle. That's the difference why now we're having so many complaints. It was 4 nurses in one cubicle for 10 patients. Now it's 4 nurses for 40 patients. So it's bound, complications and complaints are bound to happen. But hopefully the system will, the only solution, as I'm seeing it, is opening colleges. That was the one wrong that the government has done. Colleges need to be open so that we have more nurses. And we need, yes, I know, sisters, professional nurses, but we need more of assistant nurses, because of these people will do mouth care to patients, will do tannings, will do the nails, will do basic nursing care, and then the sisters can give the medication and everything. But the basics that the community is complaining about will be taken care of by the nursing assistant. So that is another point that the government must look into, that we need more nursing assistants because of our, maybe if we can get care workers, because of, if we have care workers or equivalent nursing assistants, patients will be bathed, patients will be fed, and those basics will be done.
Yeah.
And the complaints that we are attracting. So, and then the nurses, others will do the provision of the care plans and whatever, because of, if you look into the complaint system, the community doesn't complain that you haven't given medication. They don't even go to the records and check if you have written your records right. They complain about, we found the patient in a wet bed. We found next to the patient, the mouth was dirty. So we need to get more of that side of nurses that can help to alleviate this burden in nursing. And you know, maybe for one sister we can get 4 enrolled auxiliary nurses. Maybe the system will improve on that side, Dr. Prue. But as for the community, also, as my experience, we're living in a very, our community are very angry. Their lifestyles, it's just so harmful to them. So we're admitting gunshots, we're admitting MVAs, we are admitting PVAs. So the lifestyle, we need to preach more on the side of lifestyle, preventative measures and seeking help timelessly, so because of, you know, when the minute they come to hospital, some of them have complete kidney shutdown from herbal medication. I'm an African and I know that we seek that, but you can concurrently seek help both sides and not wait until that end, that you will be coming to hospital and there's nothing that we can do. And when we tell you that, then you label that people, when you get to Kalafong, you'll never come back. We go to Kalafong, like the name is saying, our intention is basically to heal everybody there at Kalafong. But you have to make the environment feasible for us to be able to can help us. And the other thing that the community must be made aware of is the fact that disease burdens and everything, like I've indicated. So the waiting times cannot be compared as to private hospitals, whereby there is a booking systems and everything. We're trying the booking systems, but there are people who just came in, they haven't been to the clinic or whatever. We cannot turn them back. They need to be assessed. They need to be triaged. So the waiting times will be changing now and then, and then we will improve on our side as to the communication, and hopefully we will win this battle, because we are in this together, and hopefully all our problems, and mainly staff resources, we're not struggling so much as for the unit that I'm working in, but staff shortage, the hospital is struggling. ICU, not quite a bit. We 8-bedded, we're having a staff complement of 39 sisters, of which 36 are trained. We reach, but That's all that I can say on this wonderful day, that we appreciate you, nurses. It's in memory of our mother, Florence Nightingale. We appreciate you. And this is actually a calling. And we know that this calling has gotten to too many imperfectionists, and we will perfect it over time. The damage is done over a period of time, and we have to be patient with ourselves. Thank you and good night to everyone.
Thank you so much, Sister Bella. I think we need a full day with you. Only
Yeah, I mean, I can talk.
Thank you so much. But siyabonga information oyiphabalalele emakhaya. Sithemba ukuthi bafunde kakhulu kanti futhi nezinto zizoshintsha. Sister T, so sivala nje ungathini especially kwi community nakuma colleagues akho ngalolu suku namhlanje.
Oh yes, thank you, Dr. Crew. And the street nurses, it is, I'm tapping there from the thing itself, nurses a voice to lead. Invest in nursing and respect rights to secure health. But my focus, I want to look at only a voice to lead and tell my colleagues that we are capable. I don't want us to undermine ourselves, sit in the corners where we are put by different frustrations and start believing that indeed, yeah, we are whatever. This has nurses are learned, nurses are professionals, and it is very important to take that to heart. You will then, as you are presenting yourself, be received as such. Our communities, yes, the issue of being informed, but we must also understand that we are in trying times. People are frustrated with many things. I used to say when we watch these shows in TV, people are looking for their parents, people are looking for that. Those are the people that we inherit and give a service to, and they carry a lot of anger. And it is very important then to be dynamic as nurses and know that as communities are developing, challenges are growing. There are systematic frustrations as well. I will not shy away from that, but I want us as nurses to put our trust in the structures that are responsible to advocate on our behalf. Ours, which I want us to focus on, and I promise you, it will yield something, because today I was reminded of something that, nurses are in partnership with God, and I quickly went into my Bible, and it is there in Exodus. So even if you don't do it for the community that does not understand, you don't do it for the manager who doesn't understand, you don't do it for the government who's paying you peanuts, do it for God, love your patients, love your community. The community will learn to love us. The community will learn to respect us. Where they are coming forcefully and unappreciative, we will sympathize because we are part of the community and we can see the pressures and the challenges that our patients come from. But let's love one another. I'm reminding colleagues that tomorrow, as we wake up, take your best tool, which is your heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister T. Sibonge kakhulu isikhathi sakho nayo yonke information osiphe yona namhlanje nokusikhuthaza futhi siya ama-healthcare professionals. Thank you so much. Sister Ndluli, namhlanje ilanga lamanesi, ungathini nje kum-community nama-colleagues akho? Sister Ndluli? Angazi noma sosilahlekele na. Sister Bongi Mkhumbane, are you back? Okay. Mbukeli lapha ekhaya. Sithemba ukuthi nifunde kakhulu.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was not very much. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Apology. Maybe because I've changed my position. Yes. No, thank you very much, Dr. Prue, for this opportunity. Which is kwazi sikhuluma nabalaleli emakhaya. Sikhulumisane nabo together with a panel. I-panel seyishilo okuningi, kodwa engakusho yiko lokho ukuthi asikhumbule samanesi ukuthi thina we have been trained as nurses, and as trained nurses, we are able and capable of positioning other people who have become an HOD. It's the first time we hear of an HOD that is a nurse. And we are capable with the training that we are having. And therefore, we should be proud of the training that we are getting as nurses. And I can say that as nurses, we are actually the pillar of the system. Without the nurses, the whole system cannot be able to that towards establishing universal coverage through NHI. When you look at the NHI, they are talking of a district model that they are going to use. It's going to be driven through a district model. And when you talk of a district model, actually we are talking of primary healthcare. And primary healthcare, it is a nurse-driven services. And therefore, which means still the nurses in the NHI, they are going to play a leading role in making sure that quality care is rendered to our patients. And I must agree with our colleagues that, you know what, we need to also maybe improve the training. And it's one of the things that I vowed when I entered into this position of acting, to say, now that I've got powers, I think I need to go out here having accomplished 1 and 2. And one of the things that I said I needed to accomplish is to ensure that I increase the number of campuses, training campuses for the nurses, so that we produce more nurses, because with NHI, we are going to need more nurses that should be able to assist us. And in maybe at the community, ukuthi mhlawumbe ngaphandle kunale feeling yokuthi amanesi anjala kwasha kwacima, but engicela emphakathini ukuthi ngiyacela ukuthi sisebenzisane namanesi. Amanesi akazenzi lokuthi mhlawumbe kwesinye isikhathi uthole lo ozodelela, and uthole ukuthi odelelayo uyi-1 out of the whole bunch of 100. And naye kunesimo mhlambe esimphushayo esenza ukuthi aze afike kulelo zinga. Kodwa-ke ngiyacela ukuthi masisebenzisane nabahlengikazi, sibanike that respect, sibanike that love, siphinde futhi sibanike that security and safetyness, because amanesi wethu, they are no longer safe. Always kuba khona abantu abangenayo bazobahlasela uma besebenza, and of which it's not okay, because they are there to serve for the community. Sibonge kakhulu this opportunity, and again a very, very happy Nurses Day to all.
Sibonge kakhulu to Mdluli, our HOD, acting HOD la eMpumalanga. Njengoba senizwele nani lapho babukeli emakhaya, happy International Nurses Day kubo bonke abosister bethu, abonesi bethu esibhedlela, emakliniki. Njengoba sazi ukuthi they are the pillar, they are the soldiers, they are the supporter, they are the teachers in this system. Without them, ezempilo angeke zaba hamba kahle. Kanti into esifunde kakhulu ukuthi uma ufuna uku-avoida yonke le mpishipisho eyenzakalayo, uhlonipha the National Health Act, the right of the patient to information. If we give our patient information nge-diagnosis yabo, ukugula kwabo, i-treatment yabo, ama-complication, mhlawumbe lezo zinkinga esihlangabezana nazo singancipha. Sibonge kakhulu umbukeli isikhathi sakho lapha ekhaya, ngibonge nekuyihambeli zami kubo bonke abathethe lolu suku bachitha nami. Ngithi nisale kahle babukeli emakhaya, siphinde